My name is Casey Porter, and on Camaro5150.com, this week's mobile car of the week is the 1967 Camaro Super Sport that me and my father restored together. This car's been in our family since before I was born. It was a project car, and my dad was so busy raising a family and all of that it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And I was about 19 or 20, and I remember the car running from my childhood, and I just got to that point where I want to learn more about cars. I was already a Camaro fanatic then, and I wanted to restore it. My father was the real brains behind the operation because of all his years of experience and teaching me so many things about building a car and being real precise. We built the motor ourselves. A lot of things on this car are original. My father purchased the car I think over 30 years ago, and the chrome, most of that is original. The seal beam headlights are original. The SS gas cap is original. Horn SS logo is original. So there's a lot of things on this car that are original. Back in the 60s, the seats had pressed, they were vinyl, and they had pressed on stitching. My dad found a gentleman, I think in Laredo, who did it by hand, and that's one of those nice touches. So the seats have a stock appearance. They're a little bit larger than they were stock, but they're on the original frames, and now the stitching is not pressed, it's actually done by hand. The motor is a 383 stroker. People ask me, hey, what's your track time and all of this. My dad has raced it once, as far as I know, and we just cruise around in it. It's one of those things. It's a lot of fun to drive, but we also baby it, so we don't dog on it all the time. But the car gets a lot of attention. I have other Camaro enthusiasts, like women who are fitness models or whatever, who want to be photographed with the car. The car took about 8 years to build. So all sorts of things get in the way of a project car. Since I come from a working class family, it takes time. We save up a little money, we put it into the car. Also, I deployed to Iraq twice, and so that kind of put the car on hold. My father still worked on it, and to get it done, and as sort of a gift to me, he put the finishing touches on it on my second deployment, which I was really grateful for. He'd be here today to talk about the car, but he's off fishing somewhere, so I couldn't get him here for this. But a lot of things on this car are still old school. I mean, obviously, 383 stroker is an old school motor. It's a lot of people put an LS2 or LS3, which is just fine. We went old school. It has no power steering, no power brakes, and I'm the kind of guy that likes just performance. I don't need a car that talks to me or parks for me or anything like that. The only car that I want to be able to do those things for me is a Knight Industries Trans Am. Other than that, you can keep it. It's more than a car, and when you spend time with your father building it, it means a lot, and it goes a long way. It's much more personal when you build something together, and it means a lot to me that this car is finished and that it is so eye-catching and so many people like it. So I have to give most of the credit and thanks to my father for teaching me and making sure I don't drive Mustangs. I want to thank Camaro5150.com for making the 1967 Camaro SS that me and my father restored mobile car of the week.